of, oh, here we go again. Here's another brand. Why should people buy my skincare? Why should people trust it?
Some people really thrive in moments of big change. Some people really struggle. Like, how is a big change period for you?
I think it's a lot of different things. I don't think it's all sunshine and rainbows, and I don't think it's all bad. I just think you experience so many different emotions and so many different things. Selling my company in the first year of also having a child, it's like there's a lot of change happening at once. Becoming a mom is so far in my life the biggest change I've ever been through. I feel like a lot of women would probably agree that the biggest identity shift that you go through in your life is becoming a parent, becoming a mom. And to be going through that while also going through this insane business process it was really interesting for those two things to be going on in parallel. I felt really stretched in a lot of ways. I just felt like this last year was a really big growth and learning year for me. And when I look back on it now, being 29, turning 30 this year, I'm like, wouldn't have changed a thing. As many ups and downs as there was, as hard as it was for me to do all these major things at one time, I really feel like it strengthened me in a lot of ways.
Let's talk about the acquisition for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Rhode was only out for 3 years. You had 10 products, which for a beauty brand is not a lot of products for this like
small
big acquisition moment. And the deal was for up to $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That was the number that you had in your mind. Why?
I'm somebody who really believes in like what you say out loud, is very important. Our words are important. The kind of manifestations we put out there into the world are very important. So from a very early on conversation when we were just kind of like, hey, what would it look like? What would we want the number to be? I was like, it has to be this number. I will not go for less. Like that is just, it was a goal. So that was that was the line I drew in the sand and the goal that I set.
Your potential customers in the EU have really been clamoring. I've seen the Reddit threads. When is Rhode coming to Sephora EU? Can we make some news today?
So we are launching in Sephora EU in the fall.
Okay.
I'm allowed to say the fall.
Okay, amazing.
We're taking it a territory at a time.
Yeah. But that's a big one.
But I am.
EU is huge.
Yeah, the EU is huge, and I am eager. South America is another really important one to me. My mom's from Brazil. Yeah, so like being able to do that will be it's another big goal of mine. Speaking of goals, to be able to be in all these places.
I was reading a story in Vogue. It said when Rhode launched, the product was better than anyone expected, which just sort of struck me because, okay, so you're saying that the expectations were low. Did you feel like you had an uphill battle to climb in proving that you could really deliver?
So I understood that there was definitely a lot of side-eyeing of, oh, here we go again. Here's another brand. Why should people buy my skincare? Why should people trust it? So I went into it knowing that there was a lot of that question mark around it, and that's why I brought people so in on the process. I documented everything. I am such a skincare fanatic and nerd. Like I wanted to show people that so that they understood that I'm really about it, and I'm not somebody who's just going to sit here and try to peddle you a product because I don't think that's necessary. We focus on inviting you into this whole entire world that really fits into your lifestyle, and I think that goes so far beyond skincare. I think, how does it make you feel? Yeah. I wanted to invoke feeling around the brand.
I think that's such a good point, and young consumers, I think they don't just want to buy a product, they want to buy into or opt into a world.
The light in the room is low, amber, like late September. She stands by the window, city below her, ambition humming in the air. _ We're launching in the EU this fall. I can say the fall now, out loud. We're taking it territory by territory, and this one is big. The EU is huge, and I am eager. South America is another one that's personal to me. My mom's from there. So that launch will be another goal crossed off because the real goal is to be in all these places. everywhere. But I know what people thought when Rhode launched. I read it in Vogue. They said the product was better than anyone expected, which struck me because that means the expectations were low. There was an uphill battle to climb in proving that I could really deliver. I felt the side-eye. Oh, here we go again. Another brand. Another celebrity. Why should people buy my skincare? Why should people trust it? I went into it knowing there were question marks around it. I knew people would assume I was just another face trying to peddle you a product. And I don't think that's necessary. I'm not somebody who's going to do that. So I did the opposite. I brought people in on the process. I documented everything. Every formula test, every lab visit, every failed batch. I am such a skincare fanatic and nerd. I wanted to show people that so they understood I'm really about it. This isn't surface level for me. You should buy Rhode because we're not just selling you a cream in a tube. We focus on inviting you into this whole entire world that really fits into your lifestyle. It goes so far beyond skincare. It's about how it makes you feel. I wanted to invoke feeling around the brand. The calm of a simple routine. The confidence of skin that feels like yours again. The quiet luxury of a product that does what it says it will do, without 10 steps and 100 promises. So yes, the expectations were low. But the product wasn't. That's why people trust it now. That's why the EU is next. That's why South America is personal. Because we built this for real people with real skepticism, and we answered every question before you even asked it. That's the point. That's Rhode.